cushion. It just makes a profitable break a bit of a problem, but pink is open, so he's got to get a good red to get the campaign going. And a little shot to nothing there. Ooh, this might hurt. He hasn't left a simple starter. So he might have that red into the right middle, but unfortunately after that I don't know where his color is going to go, and I don't think that red passes the pink into the left middle. So I think Patrick has a bit of good luck here. That red left to the pink, he's taking on the angle to go up into the ball. A little shot to nothing possibly here. Didn't get the pot, but got the cue ball safely up into the bulk area. It's not tight to the bulk cushion, but it's pretty close, so Patrick can't use all of the cue ball. Almost brought that black out just a little bit. So he does have this red into the right middle, and the pink will go into the top left corner. Playing with a bit of pace. So if he was to falter, at least his cue ball would be in the bulk area. Just like to be a little bit low, give that natural angle on the green to come back down to the business end of the table. Yeah, Mr. Ansari probably has the advantage here since this is his room. Plays here quite a lot. It's a little awkward queuing over the yellow ball. Ooh, decided to play safe, but just got the double kiss. As I say, double kisses are only good in France, not on a snooker table. There's some decent seating around here if you're in the Concord area. Definitely the room is a-buzzing now. Our first batch of matches are coming to conclusion. Our next batches are getting there, so there's a real transition of players. So there might be a little bit more background noise than you're used to. Got the angle with the brown. The thing is, it's rather close. Just got to be worried that he doesn't want to hit the cue ball again with the tip of his cue. And the yellow's got the angle, but he's got to negotiate going over that red. Yeah, maybe just slightly stabbed at it a little bit. It was always tough. You got to have that motion when your cue ball is that close. So Ansari has a little gift right here. Just seeing if that red or the pink will go past that red that's beside it. different red. And that with an element of safe. Brought himself up for the blue. Don't know if he's got an angle. Tough to see from our vantage point. He had 6 points to the good. He's still at the table. He's put his cue ball tight to the bulk cushion. Yeah, C and his crew here have done phenomenal work, really getting all the tables into pristine condition. It's great to see that there are a lot of yes men here. When Lance and I come into the room, starting to set things up, they were very accommodating. Nice to see our friends at San Gabriel Embassy Billiards Club tuning in, wishing everyone good luck. This great tournament was at that beautiful room, Embassy Billiards, the last 2 years. We do have our short guy, a good friend from Embassy up here playing. Good to see him. Unfortunately, 2022 U.S. national champion Stephen Wong, owner-operator of Embassy Billiards, is over in China and taking the Women's World Championship. So slim advantage here for C. Ansari. 15-6. Kind of looks like a rugby score to start things going. This is the match for first match for both these players. Both are just kind of trying to find a gear. He's gifted a chance for Patrick. On the right side of the blue, natural angle is going to take him down for these reds. Maybe got into a little bit, maybe the angle wasn't as severe. Unfortunately, he's not a left-hander, so be a bit more trickier. There's this black and red kind of in his eye line. Just a bit solid on that cannon into the red. Might have liked a little flick or pass by it. He's going to need to use the rest if he wants to take on this pink and probably even the redwoods.
It's already changed on my end, like on the receiving end.
Oh, fortunate enough there. Didn't see that coming. It's a cruel game. I think on a 12-by-6 table with 6 pockets with maybe a 3 1/4 inch opening, that there's no way a white ball could find the bottom by accident, but it does. So ball in hand in the D. That does happen in regular snooker. Some people might be fans of the snooker shootout. It's a fun and exciting format. 10-minute frame, shot clock, and when there are fouls, it's ball in hand anywhere on the table. But in traditional snooker, you've got to be in the D, but you can shoot forwards and backwards. Unlike 8-ball and 9-ball. I think sometimes you're based in that area. You have to shoot one direction. So bear with us, we're just tweaking up a little bit of the camera angle on the score, so it's nice and bright and large for you to see. Seems like always that's a nice putt there by Patrick. Very lovely done. Now if he's just a little low on this green, that's really going to benefit him. Just because the natural angle will allow his cue ball to go off the cushion and come back down to the business end. Stunning it down. He wanted a little bit more of a rub just to stop the pace of the cue ball. But he's still at the table. All the chance to win there. Never seen a snooker player win a frame and match by sitting in their table. So 1913. Mr. Ansari, the owner-operator here at the Champion Snooker Club. But the slim margin, only by 6. Lots of reds on the table. So no clear runaway on this frame. It's a best-of-3 match. Got a nice flick on that red. That could have been really disastrous. Could have gone into it solid. Really deadened the pace. So, bit of fortunate there. Looks like somebody might have just thrown off Patrick a little bit there. Always good to know when you're down the shot, you can get up and recompose yourself. Double kiss. That could have hurt. That's leaving the relatively easy red. Stun onto the pink for Ansari. Great chance there. So now he's gifted an opportunity for Patrick Guigui to respond. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to fire them our way. We've got an active chat. We are on the PAPSA YouTube channel. It's 2025 U.S. Snooker Championships. It is Memorial Day, so it's a good time to salute the veterans and also salute the warriors of this game. It certainly is the battlefield this weekend. Very nice cut by Patrick there. Tough with those blind cuts because you just lose control of the cue ball. But put all his focus into getting the pink. Secures an additional 6 points. can see a few chances. Patrick with a slim 24-20 advantage in this first frame. All round robin matches that will comprise our first 2 days of this great championship are best of threes. It's definitely paramount importance to get that first frame on the board. And it's nice when you play the room owner. He knows where all the gadgets are in the room. So breaking out the redwoods here for Patrick to put this red into the top left corner. As the Brits like to say, he's betwixt the between. You might have liked to be just a little further up. Got a nice angle on the pink into the top right. Or if it wasn't as strong a pace, you could have had a better angle, a more straighter angle for the pink into, or yes, the pink into the right middle. As I think it will pass that red that's just to the right of it. Oh, look at this shot. Fantastic snooker there by Patrick. Wonderfully played. Didn't chance it with, taking a pink. It was going to be a tough shot, middle or corner. So not a bad out. He's left a mid to long range shot there for Patrick, but didn't completely sell out. Didn't give him an easy starter. Patrick might have given Caesar a chance. So you're just grabbing the mini bunch just to give him a little bit more lumber on his cue stick. Apologize, we might lost a little bit of picture here.
It's too ahead, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, we've got 2 9 o'clock batches that are running late. So when those 2 batches are
Hopefully we will get the picture back up as soon as possible.
yeah, probably prevent.
Try and do my best to entertain everyone with Snooker Radio. As our great streaming producer Lance Bromman Gets the pitcher back up there. Bit tricky to tell as we're a table or two widths away. There's a close to a spot, and there's a red. Very close to the top right. The unfortunate part is, if you remember what we saw before, that black was in the left middle. That's exactly where Mr. C's cue ball is. So, Ansari did not elect to go for that red. Might have been blocked by the pink. He left a red to the middle. Patrick's able to put that in. Looks like he has a green to the opposite middle pocket. Oh, he almost developed that red on the left cushion after taking that green, and it's come past the pink just enough. As we say so many times in these amateur events, that it does come down to the colors, and this frame definitely looks like it's going to. We might be able to break out the red here after that other red. Oh, just missed again. Yeah, it's going to be tough to develop that red. So I looked for the long blue. I wonder if there's maybe a snooker there, but well, that's just a 3-point advantage for Patrick Guigui. He is the president of Snooker Canada, and some people may ask, well, this is an American national championship. How is a president of a Canadian organization able to get in? Well, it is open to dual citizenship, as there are some players that probably were born elsewhere, but now they've made their home in America. And even maybe some are trying to make it. I believe the ruling is as long as an application is underway for either a green card or permanent residence, that they can still play in these events. Patrick's got to use the redwoods here. The long sticks for this red. Maybe just a little too pacey on there. He's fortunate enough he's put his cue ball tight to the left cushion. Makes the pot that much more difficult for Ansari. To either run some more or pull up. It's looking like it might have rolled behind the blue. So 4 points in it. Good for Patrick Guigui. Colors are on the table. Nothing on its spot. Nothing really safe except for that black. The black has continued to stay safe. Now the yellow's kind of joined the safety party. Could be a battle of the yellow. As much as there's a lot of real estate to cover to clear up a green, brown, blue, and pink to take the first frame. All you want is a chance sometimes. It's a little awkward bridging. Very steady Patrick is on the shot. There is a path for this yellow to go by the brown into its own pocket. Patrick just electing to play safe. Oh, and this is a result here. Might be just a thin coat of yellow paint that Ansari can hit. Yeah, the yellow is getting bigger, bigger by the moment. He has a clear path. Even have a little bit of a path to get a little bit of angle on that yellow. Oh, good chance for Patrick here to hit that yellow on the left side. Kind of hold his cue ball up in that area and shoot the yellow ball down towards the top right corner. Probably be able to get a snooker using the brown and the pink. Ooh. Was his thinking, just couldn't execute it there. Corner to corner. Probably one of the longest shots you'll ever see on a snooker table, but it is there for Patrick. Tough part will be just controlling the cue ball. Rolled just a bit too much. That pink spoiled the party. Looked excellent at start, but that ball just kept rolling. Just shows the great conditions that they have here at the Snooker Club in Concord, California. Just about an hour's drive east of San Francisco and Oakland. Yeah, the pink spoiled it. That hurts, but Patrick's turn around to take his medicine, and I think he could have a snooker. Just trying to see from all angles there. Ansari may be able to hit it. Just don't know if he's... Oh, I think he's got the pot angle. I think he can. Ooh, it was close. So both players struggling just a little bit with form. I'm not sure exactly when this match started, but it feels like it's at least a half an hour old. Just goes to show you how amazing Zhao Xingtong, the reigning world champion, was, as he played 4 frames in that world championship in 44 minutes and 44 seconds. So he's played 4 frames, and we're still working on this 1 frame. At 7 points has put him 13 ahead. That's blue is his frame ball. Pink, or black I should say, is not in the worst place for a snooker. Obviously a little close to the cushion. A little breathing room would be a little bit better. Oh, sensational pot there. Definitely right into the heart of the pocket here. This pink definitely will assure it and forbid Ansari to come back. There, very nicely done. So Patrick Guigui takes that first frame by a score line of 51-27. So we'll see what the owner-operator here, Ansari, can come up with in frame 2. Stand by, everybody, and we'll be right back with some exciting snooker action. And welcome back, everybody. Here we have frame 2 action. Patrick Guigui taking on Ansari. Let's talk to Mr. Ansari, who's the proprietor of the Champion Snooker Club. And he's like, I know my first name is a mouthful, so just call me C. So, unorthodox break, but actually it's turned out all right for the owner here. Patrick might just want to just gently roll up to the reds. Is there a pathway for that red above the black? Can he get his cue ball past that red that he's close to? Does he have the body angle? He definitely had a chance. He gave it a go. If he's going to take on this blue, he's going to come in on a bulk. This is a practice exercise that these guys and gals do tremendously. See, it helps a little bit sometimes if a bulk color is pushed to one or the other, creating a more open gap. Yeah, just missed on all accounts, unfortunately. Didn't get the blue and canned it into the yellow that held his cue ball up in the bulk area. Maybe a shot to nothing here. There's two reds above the black. The top one closest to the cue ball, he might be able to clip off the left side. That was the worry about that shot. I saw that shot too as well. Ansari, but that's the one thing I was worried about, canning into the reds. But maybe there wasn't a pathway for those two reds that I was alluding to, going by the brown. I'll take that with an element of safe. Just gonna cue ball into the bulk area where it just rattled a little bit in the jaws. Got that quite nicely. Got his cue ball. Set into the bulk area. Hasn't left really any easy shot on or easy escape shot.
Untangling things here. What if that isn't a big tall guy?
No, that's Robertson.
He's asking.
That's Paul, this guy. That's Paul Richardson.
Okay. Can't really assume that he's here.
Oh, what a shot there. Great red there by Patrick. Always nice to just take a few extra moments to evaluate your next shot. You know, after you play a great shot, the adrenaline really starts pumping. So, he does have the blue, but it looks relatively either straight or he's a little low on it. You'd rather be high to get that natural angle. Oh, but you got to get the blue as well. Maybe just was thinking a little bit more about his next red. This is the time when you think about your
And this table
pre-shot
is
routine. That's when you're mapping out your few shots. But then when you're down on the shot, it's all about the ball in front of you. Look at this. Oh, how did that happen? Unbelievable. Came out of the corner pocket, rode along the rails, and dropped in the middle pocket. There's a highlight reel shot for you all. Unbelievable. Let's see what he takes advantage of that. That won't get you buzzing, that's for sure. This game of snooker always surprises us. There's usually a certain formula, but you've got to be an artist to play this game as well. Good tactician. He's taking another red strong in that corner pocket, seeing if he could pop it up onto the rail again and drop it in. See why we couldn't get maybe just a reaction shot from both those players. I think Patrick might have just probably had a good wry smile about that. Ansari has covered up the red that's just sitting over the green pocket, but a very long plant here for Patrick is available. Nicely done. Put himself nicely onto this pink. Yeah, he doesn't have the things that block that open red in the middle of the table. So there's two reds circulating the green pocket there. No picnic, that's for sure. They do have both a little bit of difficulty. But Patrick makes sure of that. Good pot. Unfortunately, the tough part of this game of snooker, it's always two parts to every shot, the pot and then the position. So the pot was great. Position with his cue ball against the cushion. It's just a little tough. Yeah, just being up against the cushion just made that yellow a little tougher. Well, Ansari does own the place, so maybe on that the wild fluke shot, he had just had a little home field advantage. And admission is free down here at the Champion Snooker Club here in Concord, California. It's located at 1395 Galindo Drive, I believe it is. All tables in action. Seats around the room. Cool drinks. Some great snacks. Definitely, if you're in the neighborhood, come and see us and say hello. It is only day one, so you got the whole weekend. Definitely a difficult red. Lots of distance had to travel. Don't forget your glasses. So I just had to step away a little bit from the mic because the great Andy McCluskey doing a lot of great things for snooker here in the northern part of California. He previously just ran the first American Masters at a great club in Sacramento. And they're going to be putting together, just announced, another great tournament in Ireland in the latter part of October. So circle that on your calendar. Ansari just with a slim advantage here in the second frame. As Guigui took the first. It's definitely a funny table. Only the brown on its spot. Green and black are kind of covering each other, but it's definitely a great hiding spot over there. Ansari was definitely looking to kind of hide over there. Well, there is just definitely the worst place in the world you could put your opponent. Looking where that black and green is. That's got to be in the back of your mind, obviously. You can't win by just playing safety, but you can really mess up your opponent's mind by putting them in a treacherous snooker. He does have a red into the right middle. It's just left of the pink. Where's this cue ball headed? Okay. The pink covers it. And probably it's ran a little bit that it's extremely thin cut. If Patrick could... That red that's by the blue, is that a little open, or is he snookered on that? Because that's almost feeling a little bit interesting. Oh no, looking at it, looks like the blue has snookered him, so just was thinking maybe flicking off that, coming off a couple cushions to come down to that resting place in behind the green and black. He's taking a few reds away. Giving Patrick all the options of all the reds. Or even maybe there might have been a chance to maybe even flick off that red and come off the two cushions and get behind the yellow or the green and the black. It might just be a pathway past this blue. It's a bit better angle. Patrick does have that red into the left middle. As you can see on the very top of your screen, that's our command center there, so that's where we do have a little bit of distance from the table, but we have our great monitors, and you can also just take a look at some of the body language off camera. Ooh, he flirted with that green pocket. Definitely extreme awkward bridging here. Yeah. Ansari's bridge hand is pretty much going to be molesting this green pocket. Making sure it doesn't interfere. As you can see, there is a table in play just above them. The sport prides itself on great etiquette and sportsmanship. It's interesting, we've had conversations with people in the past and some that have come in the booth about the etiquette. You can easily find the rules of the game of snooker if you wanted to go online. WST.tv has a PDF file them, or you can order a little small book size, which is greatly presented. But there's not a lot of things out there about etiquette. It's more as you continue progressing in the game, that's how you learn. But hopefully some coaches out there, when they're coaching new players and youngsters, they teach them that part of the game, as you need to be technically wise, but you've got to be responsible. You don't want to waver in your opponent's shot line. You want to show up on time for your match, show some respect. Like the cannon into that blue, at least develop it a little bit. What he's got here. And speaking of WST, they released a snooker streaming service, WST Play, that's available on their website. I believe it runs for 70 English pounds a year. That's $130 Canadian, so that might be maybe around $100 American, but it is a phenomenal service, and I think if you love this game of snooker, you will enjoy the purchase that you've made. You only have the whole World Championship that just passed. All the matches are on demand. Obviously, with snooker still being really predominantly played in the UK, obviously us on the west coast of North America struggle sometimes to watch the live events as they would be happening. Their 7 p.m. slots would be 11 a.m. for us, and sometimes we're at a work day. But they have featured an on-demand function, so when we have finished a day of work, and obviously no one's screaming from the rafters and telling everyone, who won the latest snooker match, we can probably, in the comfort of our own home, watch that match that played earlier that day in England in our prime time. So, great service, and I think they're building their catalog as well, so there's some historical matches up there as well, and I think they're just going to continue to add and add. One match I'm hoping to see is the 84, I believe, semi-final of the Masters between Jimmy White and Kirk Stevens. That was the famed match where Kirk Stevens had his 147, donning the traditional trademark white suit of his. And actually, local fellow Canadian Donald Sutherland was over in England, an actor working on a job, and that was one of his first experiences into the game of snooker, seeing a fellow countryman knock in a perfect frame. But I heard the whole match was just electric, as you can imagine. A lot of people have done that Kirk Stevens was Jimmy White before Jimmy White. So now it's getting messy over here now. On that top left corner, you got green, brown, and black, and a red kind of circulating it. 2 points in it. Neither player's really kind of strung together a decent break. I wonder if maybe they've just gone cold. Maybe you risk a chance a little bit. But a great snooker player can turn on a dime. Our good friend Christian Youngers is tuning in all the way from Bermuda. Christian, who has been a great streaming producer of these U.S. national events, unfortunately had committed to an event down in Bermuda. So hopefully you and Mike Dominguez are having a great time down there, Christian. We're wishing you all the best. But another streaming producer from Canada, Lance Bromlin, has stepped in and done fantastic work, and that's a little unfortunate there for Patrick with that blue going down. That's a thin cut on that red. You might be needing to use the rest for it. Red that's near the black spot. 'Cause I think that black is kind of covering up the path for any red to go into the top left corner. Messy. I would have loved it to pull up or run a little bit more, because there might have been just a weak of an angle to get that black. Ooh, does he have the pace? I think I just saw a little smile. I don't think he hit it there. So lots of options there for Patrick Guigui. He's fouled. You can take a shot from there. Patrick can. Patrick can nominate a free ball, actually. So when the result of if a player fouls and you cannot see the object ball on, it is a free ball. Or Patrick can put his opponent in, which it looks like he's doing. And the one thing with the free ball situation is you cannot lay a snooker on your player using the free ball unless it's down to the final pink and black. So head over to WST.tv to get a copy of those rules. Always good importance to have. And as well for every tournament you enter, read over those rules. Sometimes they have little different caveats, as is this one with our foul on a miss situation. There's a total of 4 attempts, 3 putbacks. As well, when we're on the colors, if more than 3 snookers are required, it's an automatic concession. I think that concession ruling kind of gives two things. It speeds up the play a little bit, gets the matches going, don't drag out too long, and as well a teaching aid to some of the newer and younger players of the sport. Some might not realize, some might think you got to put every ball down into a pocket and then the frame is over, but not realizing that, going back to that etiquette thing, that at times you can concede. And this is well short of pace. They are quick tables, but they're not that quick. I don't think it was touching. There's a little bit of space between it. This is always sometimes a good time, you know, when there's no referee present. Oh, looks like Tom Lamore. Oh no, he's just coming over to grab the extension. I thought maybe he's in a match and maybe was helping them out with position. This could be all right. This is going to be okay. Now there might be though a path. Guigui intently looking at it. Ansari comes over to take a look as well. Does that red just slide past the black? That's how intent he was looking at. Don't adjust your set. There wasn't a freeze frame there. It was just Patrick was giving a real hard look at this red that's in the cluster of green, brown, and black. So it looks like it is going to go. Oh, it didn't. Oh, he tried. Definitely, yeah. Sometimes you got to be as limber as a gymnast. So many things you need to be a great snooker player. A heavy score, great tactician, a creative mind. And almost get your Gumby on, get you malleable in all different kind of forms. So definitely looks like that black will go once a red is potted. So there's a few places on the table, obviously, where you'll get cover. That's a good shot. Nice and safe. Does look like this red, long red, left of the pink, does go, and as long as the cue ball kind of stays on the right side of the table. Maybe played a little bit that was side. Ooh, but he's opening a door. The side bag is open. I think really Patrick has to do much with this. Can kind of just trickle it in and let that cue ball come down table. Gave it a bit of force, not the end of the world. Surprised he comes down and takes just a little look at that black. He's got to use the rest for it. Maybe save it for another day and take the blue on and go in and out of bulk. Just needs to run a bit more. Run. Oh, I think it's okay. Oh, he loves to have been straight on that red into the right middle, because then he could just stun into that and probably have the black into this top left corner. It is tough to see. Yeah. There's a nice vantage point there, as you can see that, black is just sitting over the pocket, just waiting to find home in the bottom of the pocket and rewarded a player with 7 points. Has it come enough? Has it come enough? It looks like it has. It's a great opportunity here for Patrick Guigui.
Is it on stream on YouTube, right?
So it's really having a hard look at it. I thought it easily won. Yeah, just seeing where his cue ball was going to be afterwards. He's got a potential double on here with the red that's close to the right middle pocket. That red that he's brought out that was in the jaws of the pocket. It looks like incredibly thin. Yeah. Thinner than the garlic that Paul Sorvino would slice up in Goodfellas. So just taking his medicine, take the money and run. It's not a bad idea. Let's put Ansari far away from the reds. See what he's trying to do there. The only problem is with these reds out, but these are not easy reds, so maybe he's just trying to bait, trying to butter up Patrick's ego, just trying to push him into taking on a difficult pot. There's always a lot of mind games. I think a strong contingent of all these players have great technique in the sport that are playing in this tournament. Just the tough part is what goes on between the ears is going to be the difference from a champion to a runner-up. Maybe that was the plan. Sorry, he left some reds on, but now with that miss, there is a red quite easily just over the top right corner. Just needs to roll through this blue nicely to be onto the red into the top left corner. Just finding out if he can be straight on that red into the top left after the blue, and at least he could stun or even possibly draw it back a little bit so he's high on the black to have that next red that's below the black into the opposite, the same corner pocket as the black. But that's what he's probably mapping out in his head. But now that he's not gone as far, there's a touch of angle, probably going to need to use the cushion. So this is going to be a good judgment of pace. It's not the end of the world. He's got a shot, so got to bear with him on that. It was a little bit higher, would have been a bit nicer, making this red, but he might be able to open up the yellow and red. But he's got to get the black. Oh, he's tough with those shots. I think just he was, felt like the black was automatic. Started thinking about his next shot of opening up the yellow and red. Unfortunately, that just thinking about that shot ahead forgets you to be in the now. And that's what you got to be in this game. You got to be present-minded when you're down on the shot. Walking around the table as Patrick is right now. He's putting a game plan together. He's maybe thinking 1-2 shots, obviously. Maybe ahead. It looks like it's just going to be a safe shot for him. But when you're putting a break together, you're looking, 2-3 shots ahead. Sometimes the great Ronnie O'Sullivan would be 4 or 5 shots ahead. But then when they get down on the shot, it's all about the shot in front. Not sure how many of you had tuned in to the previous U.S. Open we had for the women's side up in Ox Billiards. I was very fortunate to have Anyi in the booth, and it was great to hear a bit about her process. As she was saying, most of her pre-shot routine is getting 2-3 shots ahead, but then when she's down on the shot, she's present, and the only focus is the shot in front of her. So just 8 points in it and 43 points on the table. Hasn't been lights out snooker. I think he just hit the yellow. It's not for our vantage point, but I think it's happened on the scoreboard, so I guess he just lightly hit that red. He likes to see a replay on that, but that comes with budgets. But Patrick does have a cut with this red. It's thin, but it's definitely makeable. With the angle that it is, this cue ball is going to run up into the bulk area. So I don't blame him for not taking it on. It's kind of a shot to nothing. It's got a good cue ball, but kind of just walks away from the table a little dejected. That was not the plan that he wanted to do.
jumped you guys and moved up to the leader, and then Sardo's the third one.
So Patrick gearing up, and Guigui gears up.
Wow, two tables go back to back.
Up on the table, good shot. I thought Patrick was kind of gearing up to take that on.
You can do that as long as Renat's okay. Renat's right there.
It's one thing you see sometimes, and it is a little bit of the struggle in the amateur game in North America is we want to give lots of match time to players, and that's why these round robin format has really come into fold, as most of these players are at least playing 4, maybe even 5 matches, best of 3, so that's at least potentially 10 to 15 frames that they could play, so hopefully they're getting their money's worth. When you see in longer form matches, which players like to play sometimes, like your best of 7 to start things, in the early frames they kind of go for a little bit more, and then they start clamming up as we get closer to the finish line. But we're seeing growth, so maybe different formats can come through. And hey, as we put the rules and regulations out there for players to read and understand, we don't force them to play anything. And if they wanted to try a single elimination tournament, but they're best of 7, say, frames all the way through, maybe the finals of best of 9 or best 11, well, I think we'd be interesting to see. You might get more of the seasoned players playing that. USSA President Jaya Pradhakar was mentioning last night about slow play. So it created a little bit of discussion, because there is actually a penalty for time wasting. Obviously, that would more involve the roving referee or a tournament director more to come and evaluate the match and potentially give a warning. As we have seen sometimes, you see players say where that brown is over the top left corner. You know, they've spotted a red and they're just looking at it for a couple of minutes. That kind of could be construed as time wasting, and it's not a 4-point foul, it's a full-on frame. I believe the process is the referee will warn a player that, as I'm watching the match, in my opinion, I feel you are deliberately wasting time. If I have to warn you again, it will be a frame concession. And obviously, sometimes with these tight quarters, obviously, I think Ernst should have been just a bit aware of that. He's on that adjacent table. He's playing Hussein Al-Santani, and they both were shooting from the same position, but Hussein played his shot, and Ernst should have been a bit more aware coming to the table that Patrick was wanting to jump in and take his shot. It's a great room in here, but there are a few tight spaces. We all got to work together. Sometimes with that waiting, it's a little bit difficult. Unfortunately, the brown's in the way there. This relatively easy red for Patrick into the top left corner pocket. Just pushing balls safe. I don't think he's got the snooker there. Well, he might a little bit, but ooh, that queuing over that pink is just nasty business. Tried for the double. She's just a little strong on pace that it came off the cushion. Given Ansari. Yeah, can I take this brown and come off that top cushion back for the red into the yellow pocket? Shot kind of the dead in the pace. Like to gone up a little bit more. Just got to be mindful of that pink that he's queuing over. Mid-range red. Got an angle on the brown to come up and down table. Might have just been thinking about green. Nicely shot by Patrick there. Slow and delicate. Just increases lead to 4 points, 35-31. But I think we're far away from a winner of this frame. Obviously, Ansari definitely needs this one to put us into a decider. Patrick would like to take this and get it done and dusty. Interesting follow through there, but made it work. It's got the green. Blue is Patrick's frame and match ball. Valiant attempt on the double. What I liked seeing there is his head didn't move a lot. So many times I've seen many players when they're playing that double that they just quickly as they're coming through they shear their head aside just to see if it goes in the pocket. And I always feel the good philosophy is if you're playing a double, listen for that pocket to go in. And There's no sweeter sound than the jingle of that netting when an object ball drops and rewards you with the points that that ball was valued at. Done well not to develop that black. He's feeling pretty happy with having that pink and black tight to the cushions. Ooh. Is that going to be his last shot in this match? Does have a reprieve, but there is the cue ball on the cushion. Yeah. Patrick Eyeline is definitely looking into the meat of the room there, so maybe something just flicked him off a little bit. But he might be fortunate that he get a snooker. I think there's a little space there. We're getting down to it now again. It's blue and he's got a 1 point advantage, but both players need pink and black. Let me see. Oh my, can you believe it? Wow, that would have been, what a shot. He's probably had the shot of the tournament obviously already when he rattled that red into the pocket and it popped out and rolled along the long rail and dropped into the middle pocket. Oh, I think his heart wasn't doing anything there. Or is it beating like a jackrabbit? Holy cow, is that tense. These are the tough shots. You hit it slow with pace, give every chance for the pocket to take it in. You did hit it a little firm so you don't leave it just in case you miss. Oh, when it's there, he had a good bend of angle there. Handshakes all around. Patrick Guigui takes that match, or that frame by a scoreline of 51, my apologies, to 40. And he takes the second frame. So a whitewash victory for Patrick Guigui. Quite a nervy match there. Some fun action, that's for sure. It was a wild red. So we're going to step aside. We may just have a quick interview with the winner on his thoughts. And then we'll have a match after that. So stand by, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 U.S. Snooker National Championships here in Concord, California. Fresh off the first match.
Yeah.
Mr. Guigui, how you
Thank
feeling?
you. Feeling good actually. Yeah.
It's definitely a long travel for you to come all the way out here.
You know what's funny is I used to live in this city 20 years ago.
Okay.
So it was kind of exciting to come back and be in my old stomping grounds. Yeah.
Oh, that's great to see, because I know some people, obviously, U.S. President of Snooker Canada, do a little head scratching, and people wonder, this is a U.S. national event, but with the dual citizenship.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things when I lived in California for 12 and I guess I'm the only Canadian in this tournament.
Sounds good. How are you finding the conditions here?
I think they're great. It's rolling. You got nothing but technique to blame. The balls are rolling true. I don't see any deviations. The gentleman that I played I left at 2 in the morning last night, and he was still making sure all the conditions were good. So that might be one of the reasons why he was twitching a couple of times. I mean, I think he's on 3 hours sleep. So.
Well, that certainly was a red that he had hauled in that corner pocket and did his Kareem Abdul-Jabbar off the rim and into the middle bag.
I can't believe he went for that pink at the end. I'd like to hear what you were saying about that.
It was a wild pink. Well, I won't keep you too long, Patrick. Best of luck in the rest of the tournament, and thanks for stepping by.
Thanks, David. Good to see you. Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Today we'll be right back with some great action here at the 2025 U.S. Snooker Open Championship in Concord, California.